Hi everyone, StariAri here to give you your fixed star conjunct placements for this week. Let's see what we have for Monday, May 16th. We're going to start off with the sun still in the fixed star algol, the Medusa's head or the demon star, right? So of course there's some astrologers that believe that this is an evil placement. And then, of course, you have Hermes that believes this has a lot to do with the divine feminine. All right. So the divine feminine in all of her attributes, I would say, with, in her power, meaning that she is both grace and beauty and can be someone not to mess with. Okay. So that's what this is. So, and because it's in Taurus, because the sun is still in Taurus, we also feel that divine feminine earth mother energy, and we can see how this energy is dualistic in nature. We can see this by what happens around us with people within our relationships. The influence of the earth mother is within all of us. Okay, we are of the earth, we're born of her. Okay, so anything that happens to her, any seismic activity, any ley line activity, any activations, things like that, we feel that as well. Especially if you do work with the elemental kingdom, such as I do with the earth, water, air, and fire elements, you will feel the shifts right away. Okay, so that's what this star is trying to help you understand, is understand the divine feminine within you, within the earth, within the star itself, and understand that there is dualistic nature within her, okay, within you as well. So the star itself is going to influence this at a degree. It's not necessarily going to have a massive influence in a negative way to the sun, because the nature of this star is Saturnian as well as Jupiter. So there's the two combined energies of this star that are going into the sun in Taurus at this time. So if that's the case, then there's not much of an influence in a negative way, right? So everybody freaking out about it is doing so because they have shadow work to do. I think that's the only thing that you'll find is that it is triggering a need for shadow work. Okay, so especially if you've been denying certain aspects of yourself, maybe you've been hiding away, avoiding people, avoiding confrontations, avoiding those conversations that need to be had. This star might be pushing you to do it. Okay, through the sun, of course, in Taurus. So another thing about this, or the nature of this particular placement or the energy itself, it's related to the first house. Okay, so when you look at the energy of the sun itself, as well as the conjunction of this at 0 degrees, you will find that it is 0, the beginning, right? First house energy, nature, things like that. What's the first house ruler? That's Aries, right? The beginning of the zodiac, the number one, right? Number one, the self. So that being said, this star is about the self. That's why I kept saying the divine feminine within you and how it correlates with every other divine feminine around you, the earth, the stars, whatever, right? Relationships with the divine feminine. The work has to be done by you. Okay, so that's what it is. It is highlighting the work that needs to be done by you, highlighting the need for you to be self-sufficient, independent, as well as in your power. Aries energy is about power, self power, independence, and being able to take action because they are truly within their power to do so. They are truly in control. Okay, so that's what it is. It's like anything that we see that we don't have control over, such as our emotions because someone triggers us, things like that, we have to reflect on why we allow people to make us feel that way, right? Or why do we feel that way when people say certain things to us, or the way that they act towards us, things like that. We have to know that regardless of what people say or criticize about you or judge you or things like that, you're the only one that can change how you feel about those criticisms, about those beliefs that they have You're the only one that knows yourself 110%. Okay, so that's for the sun conjunct Algol. Then we have Saturn conjunct Deneb Algadi, and this is the star in the in Capricorn constellation. So this one comes about if you are looking for working with a star's energy itself. Its high potency, or when it does come out, usually is in the season of Aquarius. Okay, so February 12th is when the star is highlighting that its energy conjuncts the sun during this time, usually when it's like the most powerful, I would say. So that being said, it is in Capricorn, in the constellation of Capricorn. And because it is conjunct Saturn, Capricorn energy, Saturn energy, you know, it has the energy of both, I would say, Saturn, but also it has the energy of like a Martian energy, sort of speak. And that's my interpretation of it. You know, and so a lot of people, you know, a lot of the astrology out there says it's Saturn and Jupiter, but to me, it feels more like that. Okay. So that being said, this is about when it's conjunct Saturn itself, it's about your foundation, okay, about what you're building. It's about what your future holds. Are you making plans for the future? And it's also about connecting, according to Hermes, is about connecting with the animals and power of the animals and working with animal spirits. You also have secrets of nature that come in when you think about magic works. Okay, so usually when they have that, oh, work with this star this day, is because it's about rituals and ceremonies and magic work. So again, February 12th is when you can do this magic work, right? So if you look up you know, Hermes' interpretation of this work, he will give you, you know, step-by-step information about the star. The symbol of the star will show up, and what metals you need to use for this star in particular, and gemstones and herbs to connect to the star directly during that time. So that being said, this will bring about a connection to nature, nature spirits, animal guides. Okay, this will help you understand this and how you interact with nature in this manner. And then, of course, the negative side of this, according to Ptolemy, it's about unpleasantness, bad marriages, bad connections with your parents when you were younger, a secluded life, so hermit mode and things like that. So that's for the star, you know, conjunct Saturn. Okay, so to me, I feel like if you're gonna work with the star, you have to be ready to really fix your life. Right, like you have to be willing to let go of toxic behavior. Relationships need to be mended if they are of a higher calling, I would say, because there's some relationships that we just cannot continue on with, even if it's with family, because they're toxic in nature, because the people who are toxic are unwilling to change, right? So we have to let it go. We have to let them have their space and seek their own healing on their own. Okay, and so when they are healed and when they have finally changed their ways, then we could go back into their lives. Okay, but we actually have to do our own self-healing as well, regarding the relationships and regarding how we were treated and whatever the foundation was with that particular relationship, and how it was rocky and shaky and not good for us. Okay, so that's what it is making sure that you are aware of the changes that you want to bring into your life for the better, but also letting go of the bad habits that you have with this particular star. Okay, another thing about this, and this is and again, the star is of the energy of the first house too, again, Aries energy. So just think about the star as energy of the first house, Aries energy, okay, as well. So So that's why I always pick up on the Martian energy because of that, because the first house, I had no idea that it was actually that type of energy. So I was picking up on that and I was like, what? I'm so confused. How come it says it's just Saturn and Jupiter, right? All right. So next one is we have the MC, the midheaven, and Deneb Al-Jadi as well, the star as well. Like I said before, the star, you can work with it for magical purposes, February 12th. But in the MC is very different. This is more about establishing a better future. Okay, so to me, this is more about like the glory and the fame that you've been wanting coming in, authority, you being in a leadership role, also you being very influential. Okay, so if you're going to do magic work with the star, and if it's conjunct the midheaven, like right now, and it's actually pretty beneficial right now too. Lunar energy, you know, and the lunar eclipse and things like that. So you would benefit greatly doing manifestation work with this midheaven conjunct Deneb Al-Jadi. Now, I'm saying this because this is a magical time with what's going on in the sky, and because of the influence of this star and you wanting to really put yourself out there, really succeed in life, then ask for what you want. Ask for the wealth, ask for the fortune, ask for the fame, ask for the good health, ask for the influence, ask for the authority, ask for whatever it is that you want, the position of authority that you want. Just ask and work with the star to accomplish this. Okay, so that's what's great about this particular conjunction in the midheaven. All right, so moving on to the following day, and this is going to be May 17th. Let me just put it up here. All right, here we go. So we still have the Sun conjunct Algol. We still have Saturn conjunct Deneb Al-Jadi. We still have the MC conjunct Deneb Al-Jadi. But we have a new one. We have the Ascendant conjunct Capella, the star Capella. Okay, so let's talk about the star Capella for a little bit. So this is kind of like, again, mythology. This star, let's go into the star. So this star is actually in the body of the goat mom, or the female goat. Okay, and this is an Auriga, or whatever. Okay, that's the constellation. All right. So that being said, we have the arms of Auriga holding onto the goats, and then we have that star that's right situated in the body, in the middle elevation, and the Capella is right there, and the mother goat, okay, in the middle. So anyway, the nature of this fixed star, according to Ptolemy, is the nature of Mars and Mercury. And so this is kind of like what the star highlights is combativeness, destruction, also wealth and honor. So good and bad stuff, right? So then the star itself joins or is conjunct or is more powerful when it joins the sun or conjunct the sun starting June 12th. Okay, so this is during Gemini season. All right, so that's when you could work with it, according to Hermes. Okay, so Capella is also one of the 15 Bohemian fixed stars. Again, magic work. Bohemian is for the magic work, Hermes stated. And of course, this will also help you with bringing glory, being exalted, having a noble title, and being honored, you know, and also it says that it helps with power and authority as well. So that's what Hermes says, that if you work with the magic of the star, that's what you get. Okay. All right. So because it is conjunct the ascendant, let's look at the influence of the ascendant. This is going to be pretty I think honestly, the Ascendant will be very beneficial because we are looking at the Ascendant and it is going to be in Gemini at that time. Um, let me see. So because if it's the Ascendant in Gemini, we are thinking about communication, right? So we're also thinking about how we present publicly, socializing, things like networking and things like that as well. And then we have like the influence of kind of like I said, nobility, position of authority, and influence in that way. So speaking and influencing others with your words, communication is going to be highlighted for this, and how you receive the or how you get the influence or the authority, or the power, is through communication. Okay, because of Gemini, is through speaking, is through delivering messages, is through um, oration, right? Oral tradition, talking about stories, maybe talking about yourself, and how what you've gone through, things like that. Reading or like writing, maybe creating something that people can read about, possibly changing something that people are so used to, modifying it so that others can best understand it, right? So it would be kind of like if you are a teacher, for example, and you have a curriculum that you want to teach, and you think that your students might not understand it thoroughly the way that is previously written, then you modify it so that others can understand. So something like that, right? So having that influence to change things. It could also have a lot to do with law, okay, with the law, because of the influence of those planets, or because the star is kind of similar to those planets, where it is like, like Mars and Mercury, right? So it's destruction, like releasing things that are not beneficial for everyone, right? And then rewriting the story. That's what I feel. That's what the star is going to bring to you with the Ascendant in there. Okay. Um. So the story about Capella, right? The story about the goat itself, the arms of Auriga. So this goat was actually the one that nursed Zeus. Okay, back like when he was a baby. Okay, so that's what he was reared by the goat's milk. He was reared by this goat, and so that's why it is said that he put the goat in the sky. So honor the goat, right? Put it up in the sky, the she goat. So that being said, we also have the public eye, or the public perception of you will be greatly influenced during this Ascendant conjunction with Capella, because if you are starting off possibly sharing social media stuff, right? If you're barely starting off, then it would be a good time to do that now. Okay, it would be a good time to start uploading videos or sharing information, things like that, or even creating a course for people to sign up and take it, right? So I would say that would be like beneficial starting for people who want to begin their own business. And I keep getting distracted by the fairies. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have seen them. There's one over there again on the like near my right here. All right, so let me just pause and give you guys the messages that I keep getting from the fairies. So working with them will be beneficial during this week because they're transitioning from Taurus season into Gemini season soon, and they say that their favorite seasons are the springtime, right? Moving into the summer. So they love Taurus season and Gemini season in particular because of like all the growth that's happening at this time, and then moving into warmer weather. So these are springtime/summer fairies, and they wanted to see if anybody's willing to work with them. They can help with lunar rituals too. That's what I keep hearing. Like help with, like we can help, we can help. So give them an offering to connect with them, such as put a little offering bowl with nuts or berries, or they do like candy as well, and sugar, like, and honey and maple syrup, depending on where you're at. Whatever is grown locally, like fruits and vegetables, things like that, you can do that. Did you guys see the bigger one right there? Oh, I went this way. And they also said go outside near nature, sit next to a bush or a tree, or go out in the park or the beach or whatever. There's a lot of elementals that want to work with us at this time, especially to connect, to help us connect with the earth, to help us understand what's going on with the earth and what's going on with them as well. Okay, so this is beneficial for all of us as we are one. Okay, so that's what they wanted to say. Sorry. All right, so go back to the stars. So okay, that's enough about Capella. So moving on for the next one, May 18th. Let's see what we have for May 18th. So we have a new one coming in. So again, we still have the Sun and Algol. We still have Saturn and the Deneb-Al-Jadi. We still have Capella and the Ascendant. We still have the MC, the midheaven, with a conjunct the Deneb-Al-Jadi. But now we have Lilith. Okay, Lilith conjunct Capella in Gemini. All right, so oh man. Gemini Lilith, OMG, right? So to me, this is kind of like, even though it might be intense for a lot of people with this Gemini Lilith or whatever, we have to think about the side of things that are much more grounded in the divine feminine's true power. This is just the nature of the dark feminine, which all of us have. And men have the dark feminine within them too. So looking at what that represents to you, looking at how this needs to be healed within you as well, and how it's presented when you have conflict with others, right? How do you deal with conflict? Do you start yelling? Do you start insulting people? Do you start trying to, like, even if you are arguing and you're wrong, you still want to have the final say in the argument, or you are more of a like overly critical or overly harsh with your words when you're arguing with people, things like that? What do you use insults, which I'm sure that's what it is, or what's going on, right? So what needs to heal? Why do you think you have to resort to insults or to harsh words in exchange when you're arguing with someone, even if the person didn't say anything bad to you, right? What's going on? Or even if you're the one that's arguing, that starts the argument, why are you starting the argument, right? What's going on? What are you not satisfied with? That's another thing about Lilith, is like, why am I not satisfied? Why am I not happy? What do I need in my life to help me understand that I'm the only one that's responsible for my own happiness, for my own satisfaction, right? What's happening in my life right now? Do I have a job? Am I busy? Am I, it's like idle hands, like you're just by yourself and you don't have any motivation whatsoever. What's the cause of that lack of motivation? And also, like, what can you do to make yourself feel better, right? So anything like that. And then also, are you being truthful? So Lilith and Gemini would be about lies, deceit, untruth, why are you hiding your truth? Why are you lying? Why are you not telling the truth of how you feel? Never satisfied. That's the thing. That's the biggest one, right? So to me, it'll be about that. And because we have Capella, Capella is about, nobility and being in a position of authority, of power, and being, like related to the first house in Aries, things like that, where you want to be number one. And maybe there's something going on in your life where you're not number one, where you're not somebody's priority, where you feel left out, where you feel neglected, rejected, or misunderstood. It could be that comes up for this conjunction. Okay, so remember that the star itself, the influence of the star is a Mars and Mercurial influence. So because it has Mercury in the star, then it will highlight the Mercurial energy of Gemini. Okay, so this will highlight Gemini energy. This will work well with Gemini energy. And because it's in Lilith, you will see the pettiness, you will see the childishness, you will see the mood swings, you see the superficiality, you will see the unsatisfied nature, the promiscuity, the discord, the arguments, the for the sake of arguing, right? You will see that highlighted because that needs to be dealt with. Okay, so that's what we have for the 18th. All right, so moving on for the 19th, we have a lot of different conjunctions, which is pretty cool. So we have the sun that just moved from Algol into Alcyone. And Alcyone is in the Pleiades star cluster in the constellation of Taurus. So this will be kind of like cool for people to definitely dive deeper into the starseed belief of who the Pleiades are, or the Pleiadian galactic energies or guides. Okay, so Alcyone is definitely going to help with that connection. So usually Alcyone's power, or when Hermes says to work with this particular star, is during 0 degrees in Gemini. So when the sun joins Alcyone on May 20th, okay, so that's where we're transitioning. Okay, remember this week we are transitioning into Gemini season. So be ready, okay? So so this is the star Alcyone. It is a greenish yellow star. And when you look at the star cluster of the Pleiades, you will see it. It's kind of like in the middle in there. It's like if you open it up into like a star map, then you will see exactly where she is. So she's a part of the 7 sisters in the legend of her being one of the daughters of Atlas, you know. So she's also considered to be the central star, or the central one, or the hen of the Pleiades sisters, who was seduced by the Poseidon. That guy sticks his thing everywhere, just like Zeus. So anyway, that being said, this is also considered, its real name is StariAri, okay? And so this star itself is energy based on, the legend. It's like a daughter that was running away from Orion. Orion was chasing the Pleiades or pursuing them, and Jupiter or Zeus intervened and threw them up in the sky to protect them from Orion, okay? So when we look at the conjunction to the sun, and we have the energy of Alcyone, which is a combination of the moon and Martian energy, according to Ptolemy. This is about adventure, about danger as well. So kind of like there could be an evil influence to this star. That's what Ptolemy says all the time about female energy. I swear to God, like this is a female star, right? Like Alcyone is one of the daughters of. I swear, he has some hatred towards women. I swear to God, he has an unfinished business or something with his mom or something with like, you know, there's something wrong with him. All right. Like, all right. So the Alcyone is also part of the 15 Bohemian stars, which Hermes will ask you to work with during that time at 0 degrees Gemini, May 20th. So per Hermes, this is the Virgin star, or the star that raises the spirits, assembles the spirits, raises the wind, you know, reveals secrets and hidden things with the spirits of the wind, with the spirits of the earth. So this is definitely a very powerful magic star. And those who wish to work with the spirits of the earth, like the dead, the elementals, especially the sky or the wind spirits or the air spirits, will benefit greatly with working with the star during that time. Okay, so that's in a few days. So that being said, with the sun conjunct this particular star, we find that we are being greeted with more power and authority, with I would say the mind is in charge, as well as you speaking your truth as well. Okay, because it is conjunct, still conjunct, is going to be still conjunct Taurus. Then we're going to think about taking care of yourself, taking care of what you say. All right. Because we are trying to avoid injury, we're trying to avoid words that are harsh, right? Things like that. Okay. So that's what we're trying to avoid, okay, with this star. And again, the aspect of this star is a first house aspect as well. So Aries and information, energy, and things like that. Okay, so just be very mindful with this star. With Ptolemy, it says with the health, watch your health with your throat, with sore throat, with communication, as well as with the what was it, the glands, you know, of the body and things like that. Okay, so that one is that for that day. And then we have a new conjunction, and that's the moon in Vega. So the moon conjunct Vega in Capricorn. Okay, the moon in Capricorn conjunct Vega, and Vega is a star found, it's one of the biggest stars found in the constellation of Lyra. So this one is, according to Ptolemy, he says that Vega's influence is a Venusian energy as well as a Mercurial energy. Okay, I did pick up on the Venus one when I initially connected to the star in this manner with the conjunction. But this also can assist star seeds who are kind of like linked to the Lyrans, like the galactic Lyrans or whatever, to connect with them deeper. Okay, so this star, the fixed nature of the star will be or coming in, the energy of it will be coming in at 15 degrees in Capricorn. So January 6th, so Capricorn season, January 6th in particular. So Hermes says work with the star because it's going to join the sun, or it's going to conjunct the sun January 6th. So work with that star then. So this is also part of the 15 Bohemian fixed stars. That's why Hermes has information about it. You'll find that a lot of the stars are not a part of the 15, of course, because there's only 15. So you're going to have to look up the fixed star itself and seeing how it is in your chart. I would recommend going and seeing someone who can give you a reading for the fixed stars. I do those myself, but if you want to go with another astrologer, I would Google to see who else does it. So the moon in Capricorn brings us a lot of, I would say a lot of things that come up usually have to do with where you're at right now and how you feel about your life. It's going to be kind of like you feeling lost, you feeling you're losing something, you're feeling that you're not heading towards the life that you desire, that you're still stuck or stagnant. Anything like that will come up as feelings of failure, things like that. So just be mindful of it. But we can also gain success during this time, success in business, success in compensation, money given to you, um, a flow of abundance, prosperity, even giving yourself or like a much more brighter future money wise, right? So having a lot of savings for retirement or being able to retire now. Um, and it does seem like if you are working at this time that you'll have an opportunity to climb the ladder, possibly going into a better position, getting more money, getting a promotion, being able to travel because of your promotion, whatever. That's what the good side of this conjunction to the moon can definitely assist you with. So this one, let's see, with the Vega. Okay, so that's all I have for that one with Vega. All right, and then we have another one. Mercury is in retrograde right now, but we have a conjunction to Alcyone. Okay, we still have Lilith and Capella. We have the Ascendant and Capella. We also have the MC and the Navalja D. Okay, so I think that's the one. So we have Mercury conjunct Alcyone too. Okay, so this is good because this is in Gemini, of course, retrograde. And then we also have it, Alcyone being in Taurus, but at 0 degrees Gemini. So that's a lot of Gemini energy. Okay, so not bad for this particular star, helping us with this Mercury. It might feel, okay, so it could go one or two ways depending on you, depending on where you're at, depending on what you need to deal with your soul. So it could be really good with communications, with mending relationships, with socializing, with networking, with working towards a goal with someone, you know, things like that. Also, communicating your wants, needs, and desires, sharing your wealth of knowledge. It could also help you with being able to succeed in life. So maybe you made a video and somebody saw it and all of a sudden you went viral, you know, things like that. So it's really more likely to do that during that time. So that's what that one's gonna definitely help you with. And so the negative side of things would be that because it's Mercury retrograde, then you'll have tech issues, things like that. You're a possibility that you might feel that not everybody believes you, people are not listening to you, possibility that you are being tested, things like that, emotionally speaking, that you can't really share how you feel because whenever you do, somebody yells at you, you know, things like that, arguments ensued. So that could be the cause of it. So again, according to Ptolemy, this star has the influence of the moon and Mars. We have a lot of mercurial energy in the conjunction, so we got to be careful. So again, it depends on where you're at, but also I would also say that regardless of what the star is doing, it will only share this energy if Mercury allows it to. Okay, because ultimately Mercury has more authority, energetically speaking, at this time. All right, so just be mindful of that. Okay, so everybody's like, fuck Mercury retrograde. But the whole point of Mercury retrograde is to fix your shit, right? To fix what's wrong. So again, be careful with that conjunction. Again, wherever, depending on where you're at, what you haven't fixed in your life is gonna come up. All right, so say you have I don't know, issues with legal matters, and you're avoiding them, or you're not paying your bills, and then somebody sends you a letter that you got to go to court to pay them, right? Or yeah, so anything with money and legal affairs and shit is going to be troublesome for you if you don't deal with it properly. So it's going to come up. You can't run away from it. Can't run away from your debts. Okay, so that's one of the big things that is being highlighted even more right now for this particular conjunction. Okay, so we still have, like I said, Capella, Lilith, Ascendant, Capella, MC, Deneb. Now let's move on to the next day. That is May 20th. Okay, so we still have the Sun conjunct Alcyone, Mercury conjunct Alcyone, Saturn, Deneb, Lilith, Capella, and then Ascendant Capella now. Did we have it last time? I can't even remember. I have so much information coming in my head. Just like, what's going on? Yeah, it's there. All right, so looking at the 21st to see what else is new on the 21st. Okay, so we have a new thing here. We have the IC, which is the Immuncoli, or whatever, however the fuck you say this. The bottom of the sky. That's the point. Okay, the bottom of the sky. So this symbolizes your personal midnight, or your dark night of the soul, right? The root of your personality, the forces that shape you as an individual in early life. So when you're a kid, right? So where are you like, you remember, you think about your personality, it does shift and change here and there. But let's look at childhood. That's what this energy will highlight, is your childhood. Okay, how do you think about the world? How do you react to things? How do you address issues? You know, all that good stuff, right? So that being said, we have this star. Let's talk about the star. It's going to be in Regulus. Okay, so it's going to be conjunct Regulus. Regulus is Alpha Leonis in the constellation of Leo. We have the star itself is a triple star, so it's 3 stars in one energy. So you'll see it like clustered. And this also, the star also represents the heart of the lion, or it is also called the little prince, or the like ruler star, or the king star, or whatever you want to freaking call it. So this star usually conjuncts the sun around 29 degrees in Leo, so Leo season, or about 0 degrees in Virgo. So it's right in between Leo and Virgo season. Okay, so about August 22nd, that's when you'll see this star. So the reason why, again, like I said, Hermes talks about doing magic work during these times. Again, the star Regulus is actually or a part of the Bohemian stars as well, the 15 stars. So anyway, the star itself is the little prince, or the little king. It started the heart of the lion. It is a very regal and very royal star. It brings a lot of good fortune, a lot of influence. I would say the only bad thing that I can tap into the star and see is that it thinks of itself as better than others. So it could be that, where these people who are born under this influence, or who have this conjunction in somewhere around their chart, they think they know more, they think they're better, they think they deserve more, they are very spoiled, and they act like it. So it's like pretending that they're a princess or a prince. I'm a princess, oh, you know, I deserve all this good stuff, right? So looking at it's I see it'll be about your personality, how you display that type of personality out into the world. And where did you get that idea that you are a royal? I kept from a long line of Cherokee princesses. That's a good example right there. And no offense to anybody who believes that, but if you really talk to a real Native American, they'll tell you what's wrong with you. just be mindful of what you say. All right. Anyway, that's what that will show up as. Moving on to the 22nd, which is Sunday. Make sure. So we still have the same conjunctions going on. We have the Sun in Alcyone, and then we got Mercury, Alcyone, Saturn, Deneb, Algid, Lilith and Capella, Ascendant, Capella, and then Icy and Regulus. So let's talk about the Sun in Gemini though. Like the Sun in Gemini and Alcyone is now like big influence. Of course, it started on the 20th. So this in particular is gonna be a little bit different, okay, from the Taurus, the Sun conjunct Alcyone, Taurus conjunct Alcyone, right? The Sun in Taurus. So this one's going to be more about adventure. It's going to be more about agriculture, growth in the way of voyages and journeys. So this will be beneficial for those who are wanting to explore different cultures or different belief systems, wanting to learn about different things. It'll be beneficial for you guys to do that during this conjunction with the Alcyone and the Sun in Gemini, because you have more ability to retain information and to share that information with others or to teach. So for example, I'll give you guys an example. I'm doing my retreat for my initiates into Toltec shamanism, and it'll be a good time for anybody who is into that or who wants to learn more about that to hit me up about the next retreat that's coming up in September, or to go to other retreats, other spiritual retreats that are coming up. I would say Google is your friend. Type in Toltec retreats or shamanic retreats, and you have a list of other Toltec shamans that are doing retreats themselves. I know one of my teachers, who is also a Toltec wisdom keeper, he has his own retreat in Mexico. And if you guys are wanting to learn more about that, message me. But I could also forward you the email, so that's why message me on my email, StariAri333@gmail.com, and I could forward you the information, the email that he sent me recently regarding these retreats that are going to be in Mexico and in Europe and in the United States. Okay, so I would highly recommend this. So that's what this would help. It's going to help you with wanting to know more, wanting to learn new things, spiritual knowledge and wisdom, and sharing the information, right? So it's going to be kind of like initiation time sort of thing. Okay, so that's what we have for our conjunctions or conjunct energy this week with the 6 stars. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for the energy of the week for us. What can we do to help ourselves with working with these stars? What do we need to know? Oh, of course, I knew that. Pretty much the same thing that I told you guys, is working with the stars itself. Okay, so we got the first one is energy transmission from Octarus. So this is kind of cool, what is energy transmission? You receiving information. That's what it is. You are the transmitter of energy. You are the receiver. You are the anchor point of the energy of the messages of whatever it is that you are trying to work with. So that being said, working with the stars, the fixed stars will be beneficial this week. Working with other, like the fairies that they wanted you guys to know that they're available to work with you, would be very beneficial as well. Working with the full moon energy, or whatever it is that you want to manifest, will be helpful. Working with the earth energy, things like that, whatever it is about you allowing yourself to connect to something beyond you. Okay, all right, moving on is fluidity, and this is one Andromeda energy. So this one is about allowing yourself to go with the flow, allowing yourself to remove any rigid thoughts from your mind. So any restrictive belief system, such as if you are believing that you are just this person and nothing else, then you are not allowing yourself to feel the changes in the energies, and as well as your growth through different influences and through different belief systems or different ways of thinking. So it is important for you to allow yourself to go with it, go with the flow. Whatever comes in is beneficial to you personally. All right, so moving on, for the weekend, we have the ultimate evolution. That's where we're headed, right? That's what we all want, is to evolve beyond what we think we need to evolve beyond. Okay, so anything that's limiting you, anything that's holding you back, or you feel that's holding you back, it's time for you to let go. It's time for you to go with the flow. It's time for you to be the energy transmitter that you are, to share the information that you receive, or to keep it in within yourself, right? To believe that these messages are solely for you as well. Different opinions about channeled information. If you feel you need to, give information about things that are weird, or concepts that are like most likely personal to you, it might just be that it's personal to you, right? So it's like a lot of people like to share things, I understand, but sometimes people are going to look at you like that doesn't make sense, right? So it has to be a balance here, right? You have to ask rational questions regarding the information that you're receiving as a channel, or channel information or whatever. Record yourself when you're channeling if you can't remember everything. That's how I started like to forget things, and like, because you're channeling, and then I started recording myself. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. That's applicable to me. Okay. And if it didn't make sense to me, maybe it has to do with other people. And so that's what I would do when I started, like, oh, maybe this is a message for someone else, because I don't feel it is for me, So that's what it is. Okay. Or if you're in denial, it could be that you're in denial of the message being for you directly. So it could be a harsh truth that's coming in, like maybe check yourself, whatever. So that's what it is. It's like you are the transmitter, you are the receiver of information, and you're also the transmitter. They're also giving the information out there, putting it out there. So just be mindful of the information you put out there. Okay, so that's what I have for this week. Sorry it was long. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and wonderful transition from Taurus into Gemini season, and of course wonderful full moon energy. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.